We're halfway there. So next match on night 1, night 2. What am I saying? Peter, scratch that. I will see you next time on Buffet the... fuck a duck of shit bollocks. And from the moment she came back, Jade Cargill came back, and went for Naomi, from the moment that happened, okay? Or was it the other way around? Shit. And of course, you've got the before the free pound. Gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to yet another episode of Before the Free Count. I am your host with the most. As always, my name is Charlie. I will be taking you through proceedings yet again for another episode of Before... I will be taking you through proceedings yet again for another episode of Before the Free Count here. Welcome back all. I do apologise there wasn't a video last week. If you saw the tribute video on our TikTok page, you would have seen that we kind of... I was very, very busy last week, and plus the fact we had the death of Hulk Hogan, I didn't really know how to fit that into the podcast. There's a tribute video out there that you can go and watch that we've done. But just safe to say on that, sending our love to all of Hulk Hogan's family on what an incredible loss it has been to the wrestling community in the last week. Some major shocks as well this week with losing Ozzy Osbourne as well, which was a major one for me. Personally, massive music fan. To get to that, get to lose both of them in 1 week, it was just absolutely extraordinary. So my love goes out to both the Osbournes and the Hogan family, and sending my best regards to all of them. But we're not here to talk about that today. We are going to try and keep proceedings in a very positive mood because it is the week of SummerSlam, everyone. So this week we are going to be going through every match on the card that we know of and go through basically everything that is going to go down. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. Okay, let's go.
Are you ready?
We are Before the Free Count. Wrestling for the fans, by the fans.
The number one podcast for the latest on Raw, SmackDown, all pay-per-views. My name's Charlie. I've been a wrestling fan since I was the age of 15. And over the last 5 years, I've gone on the most insane journey. We go through everything, analysing every moment. Welcome to Before the Free Count. So come along and let's go. Okay, so we're going to do this in order. There's night 1 and there's night 2. Let's start with night 1 and work our way through. So on night 1, let's go match by match. These are not necessarily the order that they're going to come out in. I've put probably the main events I think will be the main events. I think it's pretty obvious now which ones are going to be the main events next to each other on the last bit of each night. So apart from that, bear with me. I was kind of hoping we would have had a match card by now, but you know, we've got this, which is showing which ones are going to be on which nights, which I will take, okay? So we'll go from that. And starting with that, we have got Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Oh, I can't wait for this one. I think this is going to be so good. I wouldn't be surprised if this does genuinely open the show, though. I think this could be an absolute classic. I really want to see this tag team work. Please give the titles to Alexa and Charlotte. Please. And I wouldn't be surprised I don't know if it will be this match or Dom's match, which I think is on night 2. I could be wrong there. I need to check my sheet in a minute. But I think on either of these matches is when we're going to see Liv Morgan return. Pretty positive about that we're going to see Liv Morgan return at SummerSlam. And, you know, it's all going to kick off, man. It's going to be interesting. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez have been going for a while now as tag team champions. But I think it's going to come to an end this weekend. I think it's about time. I think we've had a good story run from them. I think it's time that we went on to something new, and I think this pairing with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, it was just a genius idea. Whoever came up with this was well done. I applaud you. Why didn't you do this before WrestleMania or Money in the Bank or something like that? I don't know, but look, we got it now, and I think this is the moment where we're going to see them really start to go. This tag team really start to arrive, because, you know, they've been very good the moments we've seen. We've had them interesting bits where, like, you know, Charlotte wants to be a centre of attention, but Alexa's kind of shown her, look, you kind of need me here, and, you know, I'm pretty good at what I'm doing. So, you know, and I'm interested to see where this will go. I'm really, really interested. But so first pick, I've got to go with Alexa and Charlotte for that one. I've just got to. It's got to happen. It's got to. Next match that I have got down is, and I think this is a bit of a weird one that they've kind of put together. I wouldn't say quickly, but I just find it very interesting the way that they've put it together. And that is, we've got Randy Orton and Jelly Roll, yes, the rapper Jelly Roll, versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. And there was a very, really interesting thing. So I'm recording this on Thursday. So I've got to put it out there that this match nearly didn't happen this week. Because Drew McIntyre got stuck in the UK. He had problems getting back to the US because his visa or his work visa or something like that, or I don't know if it was his passport or whatever it was, okay, wouldn't let him come back to the US for the amount of time that he stays out there. He lives out there, so, you know. But it turns out the saviour of the day is actually his partner, which was Logan Paul, apparently. Probably part of the story, but you never know. Logan has got a lot of power. He's got a private jet. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually used his actual private jet for this. But I'm sure WWE had a lot of strings to pull on this as well. But no, there was a chance this match nearly didn't go ahead. I think this is going to be an obvious squash match for Roman, for Drew and Logan. And it's going to be like a fun display match. I'm not saying I don't expect anything amazing. I'm expecting, you know, like some pretty cool RKOs. I'm not saying I'm expecting Jelly Roll to be amazing, but, you know, most of the times when we get these celebrities involved, there's a lot of the time where, like, people go, oh, it's not going to be as good, they don't know what they're doing, and we've been pleasantly surprised. So no pressure to Jelly Roll on that, but let's just hope he's got his training in, man. You know, the last few that we've had have been pretty good. Going on to celebrities, we've actually got, it's not Megan Thee Stallion, what's her name? Oh, it's going to annoy me, basically. I'm going to put a picture of her here. She's hosting SummerSlam this year. It'll come to me in a minute, that's her name. But yeah, so she may get involved in one of the matches. You never know. That could be pretty cool. And then, of course, you've got Travis Scott could make a return. There's been rumours that he's been training, but it hasn't gone as well as they wanted. And all this stuff. So, you know, there could be a few things on the card this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Travis Scott, though. But that match is like the last one on the bill on the last night. So we'll get to that one. Put it aside for now. Going back to this match with Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good match. It's going to be entertaining. Is it going to be the best match of the night? No. Is it going to be the longest match of the whole 2 nights? Absolutely not. I'm expecting this to go on in the absolute maxed 15-20 minutes. And I'm being serious. And not for any other reason than this is a guy that is not used to being in a ring. And let's be honest, Jelly Roll is not the most physically athletic celebrity in the world. And I mean that in a nice way. I'm a big fan of Jelly Roll. I love his music. I think he's great. But I don't see him going for like a 45 minute. It's not going to happen, guys. But I think it's going to be a fun match, you know, back and forth. I wouldn't be surprised if Jelly Roll put Logan through the table. I think that would be amazing. And all these things, we're going to get a couple of moves that we go, that's pretty impressive for a guy that's only been training for so long. And I can see it being an easy win for Randy and Jelly Roll here. And you never know where it's going to go from here. You never know. I did find it weird that they went with Drew and Logan on this partnership, though. I thought, where the hell has that one come from? I couldn't put my head together around that one. I really couldn't. Anyway, moving on from there, we're going to the next match, which is, I think this could be the match that steals the weekend, purely for the 2 people in it. And that is Gunther versus CM Punk. Now, there's a lot of things I could say about this match. Believe me, there are a lot of things. First of all, it should have been Jay, but, you know, we've moved on. Anyway, but, you know, they did what they did at SummerSlam. It was great, but they've reversed the decision so quickly that it was just like, I said this from the beginning, if they don't let him have the title until SummerSlam, it's pointless, and, you know, they've done that. So the person I feel sorry for is Jay. I mean, he's probably in a better match position now than he would have been, ironically, if he did still have the belt, but still, you know, it doesn't really help with the situation. You know, like, Gunther's had it for, like, it must be nearly 2 months again now. Maybe. And, you know, if they would have just carried it on, it would have made it so much more supreme. And then there's this point where you're like, well, you want CM Punk to win. I really want him to win. I'd love it for him to go. I'd love it in 1 year that we get CM Punk's main event at WrestleMania and he actually wins the title and ends the year as a world champion. That would be amazing. I'd love it to happen. I don't think it will, though. But I really want it to. I'm in a group of people that do predictions for this stuff, and I'm still going to predict that CM Punk wins. And if he does win, I will be very, very bloody happy. But they've only just given the belt back to Gunther. And Gunther's in that weird position now where they have literally proven that without a title on his shoulders, he's just not that entertaining without it in his promos. I'm not saying that makes him a different wrestler. He's an amazing wrestler. He's incredible. His match, I've never known so many to get so many 5-star matches within like a short amount of time of a career. Like he's been going for like 7 years now, and the matches I've seen of him, the matches I've seen in person as well, he's phenomenal. But in terms of a character or a superstar, whatever you want to go by the means of this, he's not that entertaining without a belt. I'm sorry, I just don't find him that entertaining without the belt. And it's the exact reason why they've taken the title off Jay as quickly as they did. Because Jay, he works with or without the belt. The thing that goes for Jay is his entrance and his charisma on the mic. That's the thing that works with him. We've realised that now, okay? He doesn't need a belt. Would have been nice if we gave him a bit more of a bloody chance, but still, he doesn't need the belt. What is interesting is CM Punk is in a position where it would make so much sense for him to have the belt. Heck, it would make so much more sense because Seth Rollins is out with an injury. He wins the belt. Seth goes after him. And he takes the title from CM Punk in the moment he's waited so long for. You know, maybe that will happen. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Seth Rollins at the moment. I've brought that up then and everyone's going to think, oh, he's making a prediction. I am, but at the same time I'm not, because it's really unlikely that's going to happen, guys. If it does, if we're sitting here next week and it actually happened, I swear to God, I will be so shocked. But no, there's just been no updates, no news, no rumblings anywhere I know about, you know, him returning or like, you know, he's had the surgery and all that. He's had the surgery, I believe, but in terms of how long it's going to take him to recover and all that stuff, God knows. So yeah, the CM Punk match in Gunther, it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be a fantastic match. The way it ends will be really interesting. Because if they take the title off, I keep on saying this, but if they take the title off Gunther, with them back in the same position that we was after Mania, where you go, okay, now what do we do with him? I think they need to think of this other strategy with him. If they're going to take the title off Punk, I am going to be within the mindset that they have got some other tactical plan in the back for Gunther. And if they don't, they're not going to take the title off him. It's as simple as that. Because I want to see Punk win a title so badly, man. It would be so cool after all these years to see him with a title again. But does he need one? Does he need one to get over? Hell no. He's in the top 5 most over people in the company right now. And he has been since he came back. And you can't deny it, okay? And the other thing is, he's near that point where he's in the same kind of area as Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, possibly Roman Reigns as well. We don't really know what's going on there, where it's like they're at the back end of their career now. You know what I mean? This is like the end game. Sadly, I have to admit it, we are in the end game of these people's careers, because, you know, they got Punk started in, I want to say 2004, maybe earlier than that, maybe even 2003, like, you know, on WWE, and he'd been going for like 5-6 years before that, and then he did easily nearly a decade. Yeah, he stayed till like 2013, so if that was right, 2003 to 2013, he stayed till about 2013, 2014, then he left. Then he had AEW, which he did do for like 3 years, am I right? 3 years AEW? I think that's right, I think. And then he's been back with WWE for nearly the same amount of time now, like nearly 3 years. Yeah, it'll be 3 years, 2024, 2025. No, he came back in 23 because he missed the first Mania. He missed WrestleMania 40 because of the arm injury. So he's been back for nearly longer than that. And you put it all together, it's nearly, I don't know, 50. It's got to be nearly 20 years now, you know, his career. So, same thing with Rollins. Later, but he went to other companies before. Roman, same thing, same company all the time, but considering the position he's been at during them times. So, I'm going on about this match way too much, and we've got so much more to go through. But what I'm trying to say is, I really want Punk to win. I don't think it's going to happen for multiple reasons, and that's all I'm going to say. I think I said enough. Okay, moving on. Okay, the next match I've then got is... Oh, this one I'm quite excited for. We've got Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. It's got to go to Jade, surely. I think it has to, because there's a really good chance here we could be getting a double... I mean, will they do a double title reign for one person again? I don't know, but it would be so cool. I mean, and you know who I'm talking about here, because I'm not talking about Jade, I'll tell you that for a start. I'm talking about Jade winning it, obviously, but is there a chance we're going to get Naomi with both belts here? I don't know. If Jade wins... Oh, man. If Jade wins, ask me on the lead up to the next pay-per-view, which I think is Crown Jewel in... Australia. Ask me on that one. Oh man, I don't know. It's a real interesting one here. I think Tiffany is an amazing champion, by the way. I've loved everything she's done. I think that it could be one of those where she could retain and it would make sense, but I think there's an opportunity here for them to set up title versus title, you know, Jade versus Naomi. But I don't know if they would do it this stage of the game in the year because of where we are now. You know, if they were going to do something like that, you'd expect them to have set it up by SummerSlam. But, nah, it's a real interesting one. I think there's a... Again, I haven't got a problem with Tiffany retaining at all. Again, she's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. She's been a fantastic champion and proven her spot multiple times over this, okay? I just think it's got to be leading to Naomi versus Jade. It's got to be. It's got to be. After the way this all kicked off at Elimination Chamber and the way it's gone, the motions we've had, the match we had at WrestleMania, Jesus Christ, it was probably one of the best 3 women matches I've ever seen in my life. And, you know, both matches by the women, by the way, at WrestleMania. I keep on saying this. I don't know if it's where I was there, but they stole the show to hell this year. Absolutely stole the show. And it goes back to, like, you know, I wouldn't be talking about it if it still wasn't relevant now. You know, And those matches are still current within this conversation going into these fights, because they have been setting the bar every single time. So I don't know, man. I really want it to be setting up Jade versus Naomi. I won't mind if Tiffany wins. I think the match is going to be brilliant, by the way, and it's going to be a lot more brutal than people think. It's going to be a lot more brutal than people think. But I think I've got to go with Jade. I think I've got to go with Jade on this one. Oh, it'd be so cool if they did it. It's just the timing of the year. It's literally just the timing of the year that I keep on thinking, like, But no, maybe they're going to build it up to go to something like Survivor Series. You know, something like that. Build it up so there's like this, some of the women versus the others, you know, and it leads to then they can maybe, could they drag it on till January to be at the Royal Rumble? I don't know. Nah, oh man, I don't know. I've got to move on, because see, this is the thing this year with the lineup, because it's 2 nights. There's just so many matches where I'm like, it's going to be a good weekend. I'll tell you that. It will be a bloody good weekend. Moving on from Tiffany and Jade there, we've got Sammy versus Karrion Kross. I found this really interesting, this one, because it's been a story that's been going on in the background for quite a while, but I wouldn't say it's piqued my interest to the point where I'm like, I've got to see that match. However, I think he's got the potential to be superb, especially with the people in it, because we know Sami Zayn will go hell to the metal on all of his matches. Karrion, I don't think has been given the opportunity to show how good he is, and believe me, if you don't know how good Karrion is by now, you need to go back and watch some of his previous matches on maybe some other wrestling promotions, because the guy is insane. He just isn't being given the opportunity that much on WWE at the moment, which I think is a shame. I'm hoping this is the start of him getting that little push, because my prediction for this one is I actually think Karrion's going to win, and the reason why is because I think it will develop the story more, and it would make more sense, and it would be one of those stories that you could keep on doing a few matches at a few pay-per-views going forward for it to, you know, hit its climax. And I think this is a very, very good stage for both Sami and Karrion to be given this opportunity to tell this story that they want to. You know, to start trying to show the darker side of Sami, to make him, you know, twist and say things he doesn't want to. I really think that this is a very good opportunity. Just don't give him only 10 minutes and like rush the match. Okay? Give him time. Give him time on this match. That's the only thing, is that you know 1 or 2 of these matches are going to be that quick because of how many there are on the card. It's 3.5 hours each night, people, and there's about 7 matches per night, average 20 minutes each. One of them's going to get squashed down to about a 5-10 minute match, and we know it is. I think it's going to be the Jelly Roll, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul one on the first night. In the nicest way, I'm kind of hoping it is. But no, Sami versus Karrion. I've got to go with Karrion purely because I think there is so much more of this story that could develop, that it would just be, you know, it would just be so cool. It would be so cool. Right, we're near the end of night 1 here. We're moving on to our headliner now for night 1. And if you've been watching recently, well, you know what's going on. We have got yet another tag team match headlining SummerSlam, which is something that I find really interesting. And the reason I find it so interesting is I think I'm right in saying that this is I know that we've got another night, okay? So don't start throwing that crap at me in the comments, okay? I know there's 2 nights. However, if it was just a single night and it was just this one, I believe this is the third, SummerSlam that has been headlined by a tag team match. I'm pretty sure in saying that, because we had So in 2020, in 2023, I believe this is right, we had, no, I'm thinking of Money in the Bank. God damn it, I was thinking of Money in the Bank. Damn. That's really annoying. I thought I was so right then. But I'm sure in the last couple of years we've definitely had another one. I'm sure we've had another one. But no, I've just made a pointless reference there. Oh man. Because I was thinking like there was the one with Roman and Cody and they had to work together and that was last year and I can't even remember who that was against. And then my brain went, yeah, and then you had the Usos versus Roman the year before that, and then I've just realised that was Money in the Bank, and I was there. Oh, I don't know, man. I can't believe I just did that. I can't believe I just did this. But no, so going on anyway, we've got Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Strowman and Bron Breakker and Paul Heyman. I want to call him the Wise Man still, but I can't because he's not the Wise Man anymore. He's the affiliate to this new group that I don't even know if it's got a name yet, that Seth Rollins is no longer part of because he's out with an injury. I guarantee you he was supposed to cash in this weekend. I guarantee you. Anyway, and I bet it was against someone like Roman. I bet it was. Or Punk, as I said. Maybe it will happen, but I'd be absolutely shocked if it did. But Roman versus Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed with Jey Uso. This is going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I swear to God, man. This is going to be such a good match. And we're going to have the run-ins. We're going to have people like Jimmy coming out. We're going to have people like, Jacob Fatu. We are. We're going to see them people. We might even see Tamatonga Tangaloa. Mateo, whatever it is. JC Mateo. There we go. I can't remember his name for a second then. We could be seeing all these. There's even rumours that there's a chance we're going to see Rishiki. We've had this so many times. We've heard Rishiki's going to come out. If Rishiki was ever going to do anything, it was going to be at WrestleMania 3 years ago when we had Jimmy versus Jay. Okay, if Rishiki was going to do anything in this, it was going to be that match as the ref because it was his boys. It didn't happen. It's not going to happen, okay? It's not going to happen. Stop it. Okay? Who's going to win? Well, it's got to be Roman. It's got to be. He's only had 3 matches this year, guys. I mean, come on. Are we going to see him for the rest of the year? That's the thing. Because it's kind of becoming a thing now where, like, we see Roman for the build-up for Mania, then he disappears, and then he'll come back for SummerSlam, and then he'll do, like, one other pay-per-view, and then he'll disappear, and then that will be it. Is that all we're going to get now from Roman? Is that it? Is this the end-all of end-all, and is it going to end with Roman versus Rock? Because I think that's the way we're going, guys. I really do. He's making a hell of a lot of money for someone that only does like 5-6 matches a year. I swear to God, man. I wouldn't complain if I was him. But at the same time, when you've built such a representation of yourself, when you've climbed the mountain that he climbed, when you did what he did, you kind of are in control of it now. It's like, look, you need me more than I need you. So it's kind of, And people keep on saying, oh, what's he doing? Why has he got all this time off? Do you not think the same thing happened with The Rock? At the same time, when he went off and did all them films, and all them films started coming out, it's like one after another. What do you think he's doing, guys? That's what he's doing. Whenever we get to that point, I think it's going to be next year. From next year, we're going to start seeing starring Roman Reigns, featuring Roman Reigns, main star Roman Reigns in all these films. Because he's been in and out for like nearly 2 years now. And it's got to, it's got to the point where we've now started to think it's part of the way it is. which is fine with me. But do I think that he's going to win? Oh, absolutely. Of course he's going to win. Why? Because the match doesn't matter yet again. It's another match that I love because there's no real stipulation to it. You know, there's nothing that's really going to change no matter who wins. I mean, like what? Seth Rollins is going to come out and have a go at the two. Brilliant. He's not got a championship yet. Could it set up another Roman versus Seth? Maybe. But it's not going to be straight away. I'm telling you that now. But the match on itself is going to be fantastic. It's going to be a fantastic match. Okay? So that's who I go with, by the way. Jay and Roman. That's who I'm choosing for that match. Okay, now we're moving on to night 2. Okay? We're not even halfway there. Well, we are halfway there. What the hell am I saying? We're halfway there. So night 2, match 1. Where are we starting with? We're starting with the match I was speaking about earlier, which is where I was talking about Liv Morgan. And of course, the only other match that would make sense for her to appear in, if any, would be, of course, Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. It has to be. It has to be. You know. I think AJ's going to get the title. I think AJ's going to win this. And I think we're near the end of seeing AJ's run. He's been talking about it for a while. I'm not saying that this is his last match at all. I think that he will win the title, and whenever he loses it, could potentially be the end of the road for AJ. Because he's at that point in his career now. He's happy. He's done what he's wanted to. He wants that title just to tick all the boxes, which makes sense. I think Sheamus is waiting for it to come back around for him, to be honest. Maybe it'll be Sheamus that wins it from AJ, but yeah, I think this match has been a long time coming for both of them. I think it's going to be brilliant. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some shenanigans involved as well. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be really good. But in terms of picking who's going to win, in storylines wise, in match wise, and the way we're going forward, it's got to be AJ that wins. Okay? They've built it up so much, which is kind of annoying because I kind of think like Dominic should have had more matches as the champion, but at the same time they've done it the way they have to tell that story, which, you know, at the end of the day, it's been alright, it's been good. Would I have preferred more matches? Probably. But still, we are, you know, we are where we are. Okay? So AJ is where I'm going on that one. Next one. Oh, this is going to be a banger. This could be another, you know, fight of the weekend. And that is Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu. This one. It's going to be so good, man. It's going to be so good. So good. Again, same with the Roman match. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans. There's going to be a lot of people coming in and out of the ring. Solo's going to have his team. Jacob's going to have people there backing him up. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Jay again that night. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw Jimmy. Do I think we'll see Roman? Maybe, but I don't know, man. I don't know. And I think that's the thing that's really cool now, is that where they've got that all set up in such a way that we've gone, okay, it's not trying to be what it was 5 years ago, and it's just like they're two separate things. You've got the, you know, the bloodline thing, you've got Jey Uso doing his thing, you've got Jacob Fatu over here, you've got Jimmy Uso and a few bits. They've set it up in such a way that they don't need Roman anymore, which I think is absolutely genius. So it'd be nice if he did get involved and would, like, you know, make it all full circle. Does it need to happen? Not really. Okay, so let's see. I've got to go with Jacob. I've got to. But I think it depends, because you're trying to think outweighing the numbers of who could do what to who. And Solo's got more people on his side. But at the same time, no, it'd just be more fun if Jacob won, man. It would be. It would be. Come on, be honest. It would be so much more fun if Jacob won. Okay, so that's who we're going with. We're going with Jacob on that one. Okay, moving on to another match that, I've been so excited for this, but a bit annoyed at the same time because I was really hoping this was going to be a triple threat. But it still hasn't been made official if it's going to be. We've got Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria again. No Bayley. Come on, add Bayley. For God's sake, just add her to the match. Please. Please. I know we had all them thingies and whoever won, and bollocks to that and whatever. But it would just be so much better if it was a triple threat match. I'm not saying I'm not looking forward to the match, it just being the two of them, by the way. I think the matches they've had between them has been absolutely fantastic, but I just thought it was obvious with the way the story was going that we were going to get a triple threat. I just thought it was obvious, okay? Just, Anyway, the match is going to be brilliant, though. Either way, the match is going to be fantastic. We've seen these two in the ring multiple times now. We know what we're going to get. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be gnarly to watch. They're going to go hell to the metal on this again. And, who do I think is going to win it? Oh, I think the obvious choice would be Lyra. I think if they made it a triple threat, it would be so good if they gave it to Bayley. I don't think they do it, though. I've lost all trust in creative with Bayley now. Completely. I just don't think they want to give her another chance. And it really annoys me. It really, really annoys me because she's absolutely fantastic. And she can only be as good as we know she can be if she's given them opportunities. And she's not given them opportunities enough anymore. And I don't think it will be very rare, the opportunities that she's given now. And it's very frustrating to watch. As a major fan of Bayley, it's a massive frustration to watch. It's almost the same as me with Alexa Bliss. Like, there's so much you could do with her and that character, but they don't want to pull too much because of Bray's death. And yet at the same time, if Bray was here, he'd be going, no, push her to the extreme. Do give her them opportunities. And it just hasn't happened since she's come back. We've got the tag team thing now. Brilliant. At least she's got something. But with Bayley, it's just frustrating, man. It's just really frustrating, especially as a fan of someone that's watched them throughout basically their whole career. It's just really frustrating to see. However, if it's not a triple threat, it's still going to be a banger of a match. We've still got Becky Lynch, who is in my top 5 women every time when we talk about female wrestling on this show. Becky Lynch is always up there. I know people go, she just gets given opportunity after. No, she doesn't. She's got to a point where it seems a bit more obvious now. She wouldn't be getting them opportunities if she wouldn't have done what she did in the first place. Okay? If she wouldn't have done what she did when she started out, she wouldn't be in that position where people believe she should be in them situations. It's the same with Charlotte Flair. She doesn't just get them positions because of who her dad is. She fighted the hell to get them, okay? And that's the end of the story, okay? But, going back to the match one more time, I think Lyra's got to win it if it stays the same. It will be the same kind of thing as, we had a few years ago with Becky and Bianca Belair. It's going to end in a good way. And they'll be friends. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did tag team up again in the future. Maybe even we see like a war game situation like I was talking about earlier at Survivor Series. Wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, that's where I am on that one. Next one, we've got probably one of my most anticipated matches of the whole weekend. Naomi versus Rhea Bloody Ripley. Oh, mate. This is going to be so good. This match card, man, is only when I read it out and I talk about it and stuff like that. It's so good. It's so good. And I was worried that we weren't going to get it to the point where it's, it's worthy of a 2-night event. It's so worthy with this card. So worthy. There's not a lot of the matches on here I would cut. I think 2, and that would be it. And that's not because I'd want to, but it's because if I had to keep it to one night, I would make the show go for 5-6 hours and have to cut 2 matches out if I was the one in charge. That's what I'm talking about here. Okay? But no, Naomi versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea's been on fire recently, by the way. The last few weeks, the last few months, I have to say, she's just been killing it, man. Absolutely killing it. Naomi is in probably the biggest position she's been in her whole career, which is amazing to say for someone that's at that stage in her career to reach that kind of peak at this point, after doing all what she's done before, and to be already on, and to be at that stage where she's probably on one of her highest highs now, is brilliant to see. And the match is going to be brilliant. It's going to be fantastic. I love her new entrance, by the way. I'm not usually one of those people that is down with all this new, oh, let's chuck a new bit of music on here, let's do this, let's do that. I usually get really annoyed. In Naomi's case, I think it fits her perfectly because she has completely changed personas since she won that Money in the Bank. Completely. So it makes sense. It makes so much sense. But, yeah, who do I see winning? It's got to be Naomi. And I'm really annoyed because I want to see Rhea with a title again. I really want to see Rhea with a title again. But, nah, Naomi's on such a high right now, guys, that I think that it's just going to keep on going for quite a while. I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm pretty I wouldn't say confident. How do I word this? I would pretty much make the assumption, there you go, I would assume as a fan by now, with the height that she's reached, that she will be the one person that carries her title up to Royal Rumble. And I'm pretty confident in saying that, seriously. Mania, that's a different question, okay? But no, I think if I'm picking one person to carry that title through to Royal Rumble, it's Naomi, because this has only just started. This is just the beginning of this high. It's going to go for a few months. I'd love to see Rhea win. I'd love to see Rhea with a title again. I just don't think this is the person she is going to win it off. Maybe a few months down the line if we do a meet again and they, but I think we've got to give Naomi the time to let this cook, because where she is now is at a level she hasn't been at probably ever. And I'm just going to be honest, I don't think she's ever been at this level. It's the change we've seen in this character and in her as a person has just been night and day. And I'm so happy for her. And it's so much fun to watch when you know they've got someone. This is the thing about wrestling, is a lot of the time we nag and we go, you could have done this better, we could have done that better. And there's moments when they do stuff and it's so well done that you're just like, I'm just here to watch this because it's so good. You've nailed it on this, okay? Because from the moment that kicked off at Elimination Chamber, they have just gone for it, okay? I was very surprised we didn't actually get Naomi versus Jade. I think is what's going to happen. As I said earlier, I think this is leading to a major fight down the road. I'm surprised they haven't done it already, but they're cooking. They're cooking this, and it's gonna go for a while. Maybe to WrestleMania. I hate saying that at this time of the year because it's always after WrestleMania you get these matches that build up and we have like Money in the Bank and all this, and then you get to SummerSlam and it is almost as big, especially now it's 2 nights, it's becoming as big as Mania. That I think that they have 2 chances now to make these major storylines happen. And the fact that they started one a month before the last big event, which was WrestleMania, they started it at Elimination Chamber. They made it make sense separately during Mania and still absolutely killed it, as I said, with the women's matches so many times on here at Mania this year. They were just phenomenal. And they've still carried this story, and then they've picked Naomi up again, and they've given her the briefcase, and she's got to where she is. This is something we don't see very often, and as wrestling fans, you're just happy to watch it cook and just watch it happen before you. So, I love Rhea with all my heart, but this is Naomi's time. This is Naomi's time. It's gonna be going for a while, okay? So finally, we've got the match that we got the rematch we never thought we were going to, see a rematch of, to be honest, because I thought there were so many more opportunities out there. And because of that, I was a bit annoyed until this week. And I watched the new documentary series called Unreal. And I'm not saying that they gave the ball away in some of it, What I'm saying is that they made it come across in a very, very strong way that everything happens for a reason, and just because it doesn't finish at WrestleMania doesn't mean it's the end of the story. And of course, if you have got 2 brain cells and like wrestling, you know exactly what I'm talking about here, and it is the rematch of John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. This is going to be major. This is going to be major. This is going to be one of those matches we remember for a long time. This is what they're trying to do right now, with this being John Cena's last year. Okay? They're trying to give moments that in a few years' time people will look back on and go, that all happened in a year. Okay? Let me recap with you how far we've got so far. Cena comes back and he makes his debut at the Netflix world premiere. The first ever episode on Netflix. Cena comes out and declares himself for the Royal Rumble. He loses the Royal Rumble to main event Jey Uso, who then goes on to the press conference and says, I am going into the Elimination Chamber and I'm going to win. Okay? He won. Cody comes out. Rock had given him a decision before. Give me your soul and I'll let everything happen that you've always wanted. Cody tells him to go and fuck off. Rock gives him the look. Cena turns heel. Cena then becomes the most hated character in WWE and probably in wrestling that I've seen since the height of MJF. Cena goes on and wins at WrestleMania. Cena goes on and wins against the People's Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Cena goes on and wins and becomes the first ever person to become 17-time champion. Cena carries the title throughout this amazing wave that he's on, abusing the audience, destroying his opponents. Has a fight against R-Truth, puts him on such a ladder that it's the hype of the year, that when he returns at Money in the Bank, it's the biggest turn and the biggest story that's been kept under wraps that we ever saw happen. Cody comes out and says enough is enough. We set up the rematch. Cody needs to come back and win, but he needs to do whatever it takes. Cena only has 6 months left of his contract before he leaves and he's bye-bye forever. This match is going to be history. Okay, I probably gave you way too much there and I was really building it up. But to me, that's how you've got to look at it, man. Oh yeah, and the last thing, this has all happened within 6 months. You know, come on. So, what we got? For me, The Rock's got to come out. It's got to be The Rock's coming out. And I think the way this is going to end, I think Cody's turning heel at SummerSlam. I think we've had the moments and the hints and the looks in his eyes, the moments he's held that belt and nearly gone for it, that we're at the point where, okay, pull the trigger, do it. Turn the most babyface person you've had since Cena into a heel. And then turn Cena back. And then have them both be getting to try and get into The Rock's head. And Rock goes down. And then we end up with something like John Cena and Cody Rhodes versus Roman and The Rock. That's genuinely where I see this going. And Roman turns on him and it sets it up for Roman versus Rock. That's genuinely how I think this is going to go now, going forward. And I think that it's going to be so impactful, as I said, that in a few years' time, we're going to look back and go, this was genius. Okay, this was genius. There's reasons things happen in this industry, and I'm telling you right now, Cody is turning heel this weekend. I guarantee it. Cody is turning heel. Cena, I don't know if he will turn babyface again, though. That's the thing. There's a lot of options here. Do we keep them both heel and have them work for The Rock? Or do we have it so one of them turns babyface again, which I think is the more sensible thing here, and Cena gets to go out on a high? Or do we do it the way that I've just said, that, you know, Cody turns heel, works for The Rock, Cena turns face because they need to have someone that feels like an enemy to The Rock, and this whole time it's actually to try and take down the final boss, which will then be against Roman as his backup, and then Roman turns on him, and that's how we set up the fight of the century of Roman versus Rock. That is genuinely how I think it's going to go. It's a guess, it's a gamble, but I feel like some people are pushing this match aside, going, oh, it's just a rematch. It's just, no, we are about to see probably one of the biggest moments of the last 10 years this weekend. I guarantee you. And the reason why I say it is because go back 2 minutes ago and listen to everything I just said that happened in the last 6 months that's led us to this point. And bearing in mind, Cena leaves at the end of December. We've got time to cook this, and we've got time to add a lot more spices to this over time. We're at the mid stage. Let's see how far we can go with this. Guys, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching if you're watching it on YouTube. Thanks for following online. Remember, we've got TikTok, where you can find us. You can also find us on my personal Instagram and my Twitter. And of course, you've got the Before the Free Count YouTube channel where you can watch this. You can find us on Spotify and iTunes. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been your host as always. Guys, I will see you with my reactions on Sunday, straight away. No cuts, no edits, just straight reactions from SummerSlam Night 1. And Night 2 will be coming out Monday evening, probably Tuesday. Okay? That's what we're doing going forward, okay? That's what we're doing this weekend. Guys, have an amazing SummerSlam weekend. It's ironic because it's been raining all day, and I thought, like, you know, if you've been watching or listening to the videos for a while now, I've been going on about how we've been having a heat wave in the UK, and today was like the first time it properly came down in quite a while. And literally as I started the podcast, the sun's come out. You can probably see the reflection from my window back there, but you know, not complaining, it's summertime, the sun is out, we've got some good wrestling coming our way this weekend. Boys and girls, thank you so much for listening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for watching. I've been Charlie, this has been Before the Free Count. See you next time.